Hello, friends. Welcome to the Soccer. My name is Delali Frank, and this is News Daily, where I share with you the major trending news in the last few hours. Today, we're going to talk about the Black Stars of Ghana, where they are going to play their next African Cup of Nations qualifiers. We're also going to talk about the Ghana under 20 team who have qualified for the African Cup of Nations. They played against Nigeria. They lost in the finals, but they have automatically qualified. A Ghanaian was player of the tournament, and also the goalkeeper. Their head coach has also spoken after Ghana losing and qualifying to the finals. That's in many conversations what we're going to have today. So if today is your first time, make sure that you hit on the subscription button so that anytime I post any video, you're going to be the first to see. Without wasting much time, let's get straight into today's news. Right, so let's start with the Black Stars of Ghana. So the FA has officially announced that the Black Stars of Ghana's African Cup of Nations qualifier that will be played all the way in November. The game is going to be played in Accra, that is the Accra Sports Stadium. According to the FA's reports, after the Accra Sports Stadium became officially accepted by CAF, now that is now the home grounds of the Black Stars of Ghana. The FA announced that coming days, what is going to happen is that the Black Stars will be camping. You know that Ghana currently have 2 games left in the African Cup of Nations qualifiers. Realistically, we are out of the journey, but mathematically, just as Otwado will say, mathematically we still have a chance. We need to hope that other teams will lose a lot of points, but I don't think that will happen. But as a way of sportsmanship, Ghana still needs to play the African Cup of Nations qualifier. So we have 1 home game against Niger and then 1 away game against Angola. Against Niger, the game will be played in Accra. So Kumasi used to be our home grounds, but after the African Cup of Nations qualifiers against Angola, CAF deemed the Barbara Sports Stadium unfit for CAF competitions. So now we are going to play our home games at the Accra Sports Stadium. We're going to stay tuned. The next African Cup of Nations will be happening in November. We're going to follow keenly. Otwado at this point is preparing to release a squad for that qualifiers. So follow keenly. If any update comes, we are going to let you know. But what you need to know is that Ghana will be playing its game against Niger at the Accra Sports Stadium. Now let's go and talk about the U20 team that played the finals of the ongoing WAFU Zone B Championship. So the WAFU Zone B Championship also serves as qualifiers for the African Cup of Nations. And you need to also qualify for the African Cup of Nations before you can even qualify for the World Cup. So it was a very, very important tournament that Ghana was engaging in, not only because we needed to win the competition, but the most important bit was to qualify for the Afcon. And Ghana needed to, first of all, win the semi-final game, which we managed to win by 2-1 against Ivory Coast. Once we managed to win against Ivory Coast, that meant that we have qualified automatically. The finals was Ghana versus Nigeria. The game ended 2-1 in favor of Nigeria, but Ghana was very great. We missed a lot of chances. I think it was a game that if we were a bit calmer up front, we would have scored a lot of goals. We had a lot of chances. We created so many chances, but unfortunately, Desmond and his boy couldn't score the chances that they created. The game ended in a 2-1 loss, in a 2-1 victory for Nigeria. Nigeria beat Ghana by 2-1. But after the game, Ghana won a couple of the personal trophies. So the first trophy that Ghana won was Player of the Tournament. Jerry Afriye, the striker, who was also the top scorer in the All-African Games, or the African games that were played in Ghana. He was adjourned the best player of the tournament and also ended up winning the goal king. He scored 5 goals in 5 matches for Ghana. He was such an excellent player. He's a very, very good striker. One of them strikers that would always score the goal when you give him the chance. We wish him the best of luck, and we are hoping that the performance will be moved into the main African Cup of Nations Championship. At this point, we're hoping that Ghana will do very well in the Afcon, in the coming Afcon, because the most important bit now is we have qualified for the competition, and what is left is going into the Afcon and doing well and qualifying to the World Cup, the Under-20 World Cup. Remember, Ghana is one of the African countries. Ghana is the only African country to ever even win the U20 African Cup of Nations. And after that, their head coach, which is Desmond Ofe, also spoke. And I'm going to read a couple of things he said about that. So he spoke about the team's achievements. He said, earlier this year, the Black Stars won gold at the 13th African Games. However, following that success, 9 players who played key roles in the tournament departed for the clubs in Europe, leaving the head coach very, very disturbed. Despite all these challenges, Ofe has done a brilliant job to make sure that the team qualifies. He said, Ofe, in one of his interviews, said, losing 9 key players who were crucial to our success at the African Games was a significant blow. A lot of the players left. Abdulaziz Issa, who is Barcelona now. I know a couple of players, Philemon Rich McCarthy, Ofori, and the likes, have all left. So he said losing 9 key players who were crucial to our success at the African Games was a significant blow. But this allowed us to build a new core of young talent. And these boys have stepped up tremendously. They deserve this qualification just as much as anyone else. Qualifying for the U20 Afcon is a huge achievement for us, especially considering the circumstances. This team faced many challenges, but their determination and commitment have been incredible. I am proud of each and every one of them. This qualification serves as a testament to the dedication and adaptability of both the players and the coaching staff. And it justifies Ghana's continued commitment to youth football development despite setbacks. So that's the head coach, Desmond Ofe's comments after the team have qualified to the U20 African Cup of Nations, and also Ghana losing the finals to Nigeria. But at the end, it's been a very, very good journey because they went there with the qualification in mind. They didn't start quite well. They drew the first game. The second game, they managed to win. Ended up to win 2 games to qualify. Ended up to win the second game and then drew. So 2 draw, 1 victory. Made sure that they qualified to the semi-finals. They played against Ivory Coast in the semi-finals, and they managed to beat them to qualify to the finals, and they lost to Nigeria. It's good that Ghana have qualified, as at this point, the host for the U20 has not been officially confirmed yet. I'm hearing that it may be Ivory Coast, but let's see. Hopefully, maybe they'll bring it to Ghana, because now we have the Accra Sports Stadium fit. CAF has certified it. The grass looks good. We keep maintaining it. We also have the Barbara Sports Stadium that I believe they've said is in good shape now. We are hoping that they'll make it to be a good standard. If Cape Coast also gets to the high quality standard, we may be able to host these kind of competitions here, because CAF is trying to take the competitions around. It's always Morocco. Morocco is basically hosting everything in Africa. And once you're able to get proper facilities in Ghana, we'll stand a chance of hosting them, these kind of championships. But I'm just hoping that it doesn't go to Morocco. Morocco is so far. Ivory Coast, we can be able to go. Togo will be able to go. Nigeria will be able to go. Cameroon there, Charlie. Morocco there, we know if we go. It's too far. Like, the cost of flight and all that things, really, they prevent us from moving around. That's all for today. We talked about the Black Stars, who will be playing their game, their next African Cup of Nations qualifiers at the Accra Sports Stadium. Maybe if we were hoping that they would go to Babaya, no, we are playing our games at the Accra Sports Stadium until further notice. And then the next thing we talked about the U20 team, the under-20 boy, Jerry Efriye, the striker, who is doing excellent well, who is doing brilliant. And then we talked about the U20 head coach, who spoke after Ghana qualifying for the Afcon and also failing to win the championship. My name is Delali Frank. Let me know what you think in these videos that we've discussed. But until meet again, bye-bye for now.